Discover the incredible moment a delivery girl exposed 9 programmers in a life-changing surprise. Mia zipped through the bustling suburb of Chicago, the sun glinting off her delivery truck as she navigated through streams of traffic and throngs of busy pedestrians. Each package brought life-changing opportunities, but today felt different. Today, she was about to stumble upon something transformative. As she approached an upscale tech startup, a sense of purpose surged within her. This delivery is just as important as college, she told herself, recalling her grandfather's insistence on hard work. The door opened before she could knock. Judging by their sharp suits and furrowed brows, the team of 9 programmers looked like they had just emerged from a high-pressure meeting. They glanced at her with distracted eyes, not quite realizing the tempest brewing beneath their polished exteriors. Mia's heart squeezed as she caught a glimpse of their faces, the quiet desperation, the weight of expectations. In her mind, they represented everything she yearned for: success, validation. But here they were, trapped behind glass walls, burdened with unseen struggles. "Hey there," she said, breaking the halt. "I've got a package for you." But it wasn't just a package. It was a moment where their worlds could collide, where understanding might spring to life. At first, they waved her off, mumbling quick thanks before vanishing back into the hubbub of deadlines and code. Mia could feel a gentle ache rising within her. It reminded her of the way she felt when her mother brushed off her dreams to focus on bills, too immersed in survival to see the bigger picture. It hurt, but her spirit thrived in this ache. As days passed, Mia returned to the startup, determined to break through. Sure, her job didn't carry the prestige of theirs, but didn't it come with its own dignity, its own story? A profound connection began to blossom. In casual chats during deliveries, they shared snippets of their lives, sleepless nights filled with lines of code, the suffocating pressure to succeed. Little by little, Mia uncovered layers of vulnerability, cracks in their seemingly perfect lives. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue, but the breakthrough shattered when a crisis hit their team. A disastrous bug threatened their high-profile project. Desperation clawed at the edges of their composure, turning them inward just when they needed connection the most. Mia, driven by loyalty and empathy, tried to help, but her efforts spiraled into misunderstanding. Accusations flew, and instead of solidarity, a rift formed. Feeling crushed, Mia realized she wasn't just fighting for her dreams anymore, she was battling against the odds that weighed down all of them. As she prepared for a local community event showcasing achievements in the suburb, a flicker of hope ignited deep within. Was it time to demonstrate that true growth happens when collaboration flourishes beyond preconceived walls? As she stepped onto the stage, the chatter hushed. In that moment, Mia's courage beckoned for change, not just for her but for everyone hiding behind earthen facades of success. The cheers echoed, and a connection erupted, but doubts remained. Could they really see each other past their barriers? Would the idea of understanding break the bonds of pride and prejudice? Their stories intertwined, but a new chapter loomed ahead. Would another misunderstanding sow the seeds of distrust once more, or could they find the hope buried deep and finally embrace the ties that should have bound them together? Mia stood at the center of the stage, the bright lights washing over her, illuminating the muted faces of the crowd. Her heart raced, pounding against her ribcage like a drum. The sounds of applause faded into the background as she gathered herself, sensing the weight of the moment. This was her chance to bridge the gap between herself and the programmers, to show them that they were not alone in their struggles. "Thank you all for being here today," she began, her voice tremoring but steadying with each word. "I want to share a story, not just mine but one that reflects all of us, the dreams we have, the battles we fight, and how sometimes, we need each other more than we think." As she spoke, she noticed the programmers in the front row. They sat stiffly, their eyes fixed on her, an intensity in their gaze that sparked something deep inside her. Could they really feel what she was saying? "I know what it's like to feel invisible," she continued, the words pouring from her heart. "I deliver packages all day, but I also deliver hope, connection. I've seen firsthand that everyone is fighting their own battles. And those 9 brilliant minds have their own stories, hidden beneath the surface." She pointed towards them, catching their attention as their brows furrowed in confusion. One programmer, Sam, shifted nervously in his seat. The shadows under his eyes hinted at countless nights spent troubleshooting algorithms rather than sleeping. The others beside him seemed to shift from rigid attention to something softer, a flicker of recognition sparking in their expressions. "Like you all, I wear a mask every day," Mia confessed, her breath hitching, emotions bubbling to the surface. "But the truth is, no one truly succeeds alone." The crowd murmured, and she felt the swell of connection bloom. "Let us redefine what success means together. Let us build a community." Her voice rose, almost electrifying the air around her. "We can lift each other up, support one another. Imagine the possibilities if we share our dreams and vulnerabilities without fear." When she finished, the room erupted in applause, but Mia didn't look for validation there. She focused on the programmers, hoping to see their walls breaking down, a glimmer of understanding reflected back to her. A silence fell, more profound than the applause or cheers. Sam stood up hesitantly, his voice steady. "We've lost sight of what it means to connect. We dove into our codes and deadlines and forgot the heart of what we're doing and what we're missing." His words cut through the tension, and the others began to murmur, nodding in agreement. Mia's heart leaped. Could this be the beginning of their transformation? In that electric atmosphere, she felt the barriers crumbling, yet another challenge loomed ahead. The rift might have widened, but a chance existed for healing. Just as hope blossomed in Mia's heart, her phone buzzed in her pocket. She fumbled to pull it out, eyes darting back to the programmers as they seemed to energize, leaning toward one another, voices rising in peppy excitement. It felt wrong to break this moment, but as she read the message, her stomach dropped. It was from a local news anchor who had been following her story. They wanted an exclusive on the burgeoning friendship between her and the tech team, to document the incredible moment of connection. But did they see it that way? A chance for insight or just another headline? With rising fear, Mia turned back, her heart racing once more. Would this reveal bring the community together or push them apart? And in that tension-filled silence, Mia could only wonder, had her efforts truly ignited a change, or was the next step still shrouded in uncertainty? As she prepared to face yet another challenge, she realized sometimes, transformation starts with a single, courageous conversation. Mia took a deep breath, trying to refocus her thoughts. The applause had died down, but the energy in the room felt electric. Sam's voice still lingered in her mind, bringing her back to the weight of what they were all trying to achieve together. She sensed the spark that had ignited among the programmers. It was something beautiful. Yet, the message on her phone echoed ominously. What if the spotlight shone too brightly on their struggle? Would they be thrust into a narrative crafted by someone else, losing their voices in the process? As she faced the crowd, those familiar insecurities whispered in her ear. Would they see her as a delivery girl with a story, or would their interest be merely for the sake of entertainment? "Okay, focus," she whispered to herself. "You can do this." Mia stepped forward again, finding courage within the uncertainty. "I know we're all here because we want to change, to connect. But connection doesn't happen in front of cameras or with flashy headlines. It happens in raw, honest moments where we share our truths." The crowd shifted. She noticed a few nodding, others leaning in closer. Courage surged through her as she continued, "What if, instead of taking this outside, we took the time to really talk here, now?" Sam raised his hand, an inviting smile breaking through his previous hesitance. "I think we should open the floor. Let us share what we've been struggling with." Mia's heart soared. She couldn't believe it. The very thing she hoped for was happening. Real dialogue was beginning. She motioned for him to continue, feeling a tremor of warmth envelope her. "I've spent so much time coding, chasing deadlines, and I've lost touch with why I started in the first place," Sam confessed. "I wanted to change lives with technology, and somewhere along the line, I forgot that human connection is key." One by one, hands shot up throughout the room. Each programmer took turns sharing their stories of burnout, passion, and the loneliness hidden behind screens. They spoke of sleepless nights, dreams delayed, and aspirations that felt out of reach. With each word, the sense of community deepened, a thread weaving them all together. Mia felt tears prick at her eyes as she witnessed vulnerability in its purest form. Here they were, 9 brilliant minds exposing their dreams and fears bare and unfiltered. It was beautiful, and she felt honored to witness the moment. As words flowed like a current, Mia realized how vital it was to ensure they stayed connected. They weren't just sharing stories, they were sowing seeds of something much larger. Once the hour passed, laughter intertwined with tears, and spontaneous applause echoed for each brave answer. They began planning a meetup, choosing the vibrant cafe down the street as their sanctuary, a place where they could share their highs and lows without fear. Mia felt lighter, yet the nagging doubt about the news anchor's request still clouded over her. Would sharing this experience with the world enhance their community, or tear at the delicate threads they had just woven together? As the session came to a close, Mia sent a silent prayer to the universe, hoping for clarity in the days ahead. With an anxious heart, she finally spoke up, "This is just the beginning, but can we really own our story? Or will we let someone else define it for us?" In that moment, as the room fell into thinking silence, Mia knew that the next step would either escalate their connection or fracture it. What would they choose? The weight of Mia's question hung thick in the room. It was as if time stopped, and everyone held their breath, caught in the gravity of the moment. She scanned the faces, searching for any sign, any flicker of understanding. What they had built felt like a fragile bubble, so easily burst by outside forces. Someone broke the silence. It was Jade, her eyes bright with determination. "We have the power to shape our story, but it's not just about us. It's about every one of us who's felt overlooked in tech." Her voice was steady, and Mia could feel the ripple of agreement spread amongst their group. "I didn't want to be just another code monkey," Kyle added, his face serious yet hopeful. "I want my work to matter, to connect with others on a human level. If we can harness that, if we can show the world who we really are, maybe it would invite others to join us." Mia felt a spark ignite within her. They could chart this path together, not just for themselves, but for those who followed. If they banded together, they could turn their fears into a powerful narrative. It wasn't about crafting a polished persona for media, this was about raising their collective voice. "I think we should go public," Mia finally declared. "But on our own terms. We'll share our stories and why they matter. The struggles, the triumphs, everything." A chorus of affirmations erupted. It felt like the air crackling with electricity. Sam beamed, the weight of expectation falling off his shoulders. "Let us create a vlog. A series that highlights not just our projects, but who we are." "Yes!" Jade exclaimed. "And we can bring in feedback from our community. Have them share their stories too. It'll be a platform for everyone." Mia's heart raced as ideas sparked, the energy shifting from anxiety to excitement. They would take control of their narrative, make it expansive, inclusive. It was a chance to create something that spoke to the heart, not just the mind. During the animated discussions, Mia caught snippets of laughter and bits of encouragement, and her soul stirred amid the growing camaraderie. Yet, beneath it all, her earlier fears still brewed. She wondered how it would feel to reveal such intimate details to the world. Would people understand? Would they misinterpret their honesty? As they wrapped up, Sam got everyone's attention. "Let us set a date for our first meeting at the cafe. We can plan our first episode there." Mia's heart swelled. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were stepping onto a precipice. This could lead them towards something liberating or throw them off balance into an unknown chaos. Everyone exchanged excited glances and wide smiles, but her heart weighed heavy. She knew the roller coaster of emotions that lay ahead. Would the world receive them with open arms, or with scrutiny? As the crowd began to disperse, Mia lingered. She looked at her phone again, where the remnants of that ominous message still loomed. Would she have what it takes to stand alongside these brilliant minds and fight for their story? "Hey, Mia." Sam called, snapping her out of her thoughts. "You okay?" "Yeah, I just can't help but wonder how people will respond," she confessed. With a reassuring nod, Sam replied, "We'll figure it out together." Mia found comfort in his words. Yet, she couldn't shake the feeling that this journey would test them in ways they hadn't imagined. What secrets would be unearthed as they peeled back their layers? With the cafe meeting set, Mia felt a mixture of hope and trepidation. They were on the brink of something big, but what awaited them at the end of this shared journey? As she walked away, she couldn't shake the question that shaped her thoughts. Would they rise as a united voice, or would they stumble under the weight of their own truths? The cafe buzzed with life as Mia entered, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wrapping around her like a warm hug. She spotted her friends gathered around a large, round table, animatedly discussing ideas for their vlog. As she approached, their energy pulled her into the whirlwind of enthusiasm, yet a storm brewed in her chest. "Hey, Mia." Kyle waved. "We were just brainstorming how to kick off our first episode. You're gonna love this." Mia forced a smile, feeling the weight of the moment pressing down on her. She settled into her seat, a knot of anticipation tightening in her stomach. The familiar chatter of nearby customers buzzed in the background, but her mind drifted. This was it. They were stepping into the spotlight, ready to share their stories, but her heart echoed with doubt. Jade leaned forward, her face bright with ideas. "What if we start with our own journeys? Like, why we got into tech and the obstacles we faced." "Yes." Sam jumped in. "And we can incorporate some live feedback from our viewers. They can tell their stories too. It'll create this incredible sense of community." Mia nodded, her heart flickering with a mix of excitement and fear. "I love that. But, what if we reveal more than we're ready for? Sharing personal struggles can be raw." "Exactly," Jade exclaimed. "But that's what connects us. Vulnerability breeds authenticity. People need to know they're not alone." The table fell quiet for a moment, each person absorbing Jade's words. Mia could feel the stirrings of something powerful within her. They weren't just talking about a vlog, they were discussing a movement. As they laid out their plans, Mia's heart raced. Ideas flew back and forth: graphics, topics, even potential guest speakers. Each suggestion felt like a tiny step toward liberation, yet the underlying anxiety bubbled within her. Who would they invite? What if someone shared a story too close to home? "Let's get everyone's stories," Kyle suggested, "and maybe do some quick interviews right outside the cafe. We can just ask people what tech means to them." Her heart thudded. What if someone opened up in a way she wasn't ready for? What if this project led to unexpected revelations? Suddenly, the door swung open, and in walked a delivery girl, her arms loaded with packages. She glanced around, trotting toward their table with purpose. "Hey, I have a delivery for you guys." The group exchanged confused looks. "Delivery? Today?" Mia didn't recall ordering anything that as the girl approached, Mia felt a curious pull. "What's this about?" she asked as the girl set the boxes down. The delivery girl grinned, her excitement infectious. "You're going to want to check this out. It's a surprise delivery to support your journey." Mia's eyebrows shot up in disbelief. What could possibly be in those boxes? As Jade reached for the lid, Mia held her breath. This was turning into a day full of surprises. As the cardboard flaps opened, they unveiled stacks of notebooks, markers, stickers, and motivational posters. The journals bore messages like "Your story matters and embrace your truth." Mia's heart swelled. This was more than just supplies, it was encouragement, a tangible sign that they weren't alone in their mission. But she couldn't shake the feeling that this moment wasn't just a coincidence. It felt like a call to dive deeper. "Who sent this?" she asked, the apprehension creeping back into her voice. "I don't know," the delivery girl said, her smile bright. "But the sender wanted you to know that people believe in your mission." As they reveled in the moment, the realization washed over Mia. They were on the brink of something transformative, and the universe was nudging them forward. But was it enough to push through her fears? Mia looked around at her friends, all thriving in this surprise. What if this is a sign? What if we embrace not just our triumphs but the struggles too? That thought lingered like a whisper, echoing in the back of her mind. They stood at the edge of a daunting journey, and now, support had found its way to them in the most unexpected form. What else awaited them as they ventured into the depths of their stories? Would they uncover truths that could change everything? Mia stared at the brightly colored notebook strewn across the table. Each cover seemed to call out to her, filling the air with whispers of encouragement. For the first time, she felt the weight of her anxieties shift, even if only slightly. It was as if the universe had opened a door, nudging her to step through. "Let's personalize these," Jade exclaimed, already picking up markers and stickers. As they each grabbed a notebook, Mia felt an unexpected spark. She flipped hers open and scribbled, "Embrace your fear." Those words felt monumental. They hung there like a promise, a commitment to confront whatever feelings lurked within. "What's the first story you want to share?" Sam asked, peering over his notebook. His earnestness struck a chord, and Mia felt her pulse quicken. "My journey is complicated." The word slipped out before she realized. Complicated was an understatement. But as her friends leaned in, anticipation glowing in their eyes, she thought about how sharing could lighten that burden. "Complicated is okay," Kyle replied, his tone brightening the mood. "It's real. That's what matters." Mia took a deep breath, searching for the right way to begin. "I guess I've always been the quiet one, the one who would rather blend in than stand out. When I got into tech, it was overwhelming. The pressure to know everything. I've often felt like an imposter." The honesty in her voice struck the table like a stone. Jade's expression softened as she replied, "You're not alone. I felt that way when I started too. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to ask questions." As they shared their vulnerabilities, Mia noticed how their laughter mingled with moments of gravity. Each story opened windows into their hearts, revealing parts they had kept hidden. Jade talked about her struggles with coding, Sam shared his journey of acceptance in a male-dominated field, and Kyle opened up about battling self-doubt. Mia watched their camaraderie grow even deeper. This was the sense of community they had hoped for. Each revelation acted like a thread stitching them closer. Then Mia's attention returned to the vibrant notebooks scattered among them. "Imagine if we shared this with others," she proposed suddenly, excitement bubbling up. "We could encourage everyone to share their stories like a chain reaction of bravery." "Yes!" Jade exclaimed, bouncing in her seat. "We can call it the Story Sharing Project. Each episode can involve someone from our community talking about their journey. We can use these notebooks for inspiration. What if we start with the tech industry?" Kyle suggested. "It's a great foundation, but then we branch out into other fields too." Mia felt a wave of hope wash over her. This wasn't just some vlog anymore, it was a movement. Her heart raced at the thought of igniting a spark in others, helping them confront their fears. Just as the excitement reached a peak, the delivery girl returned, leaning against the table. "I overheard you. This is amazing. I wanted to support you because my sister struggled to fit in, and sharing her story changed her life. Wow. Thank you. Mia said, warmth blossoming within her. If we did this right, we could reach so many more people. The delivery girl nodded, her eyes shone with pride. You never know whose life you might touch. Inspired, Mia glanced around the table, the enormity of their task settling in. Could they handle the vulnerable stories of others as they began sharing their own? Did they have what it took to navigate those waters? That night, as they continued to brainstorm ideas and themes, Mia felt both overwhelmed and invigorated. The notebooks had given them a path, but now they had to walk it together, and it wouldn't always be easy. What would happen when they began to gather those stories? Would the weight of shared struggles turn into something more powerful, or would it shatter the delicate connections they were forming? The real test was yet to come, and Mia felt the clock ticking down to their first chance to share. How would they bridge the gap from their private fears to public truths? The air buzzed with energy as Mia and her friends gathered around the table, the vibrant notebooks still scattered among them. They were riding a wave of excitement, but it was a fragile thing, just waiting for the right moment to crash or soar. Everyone was buzzing about the potential of their idea. What if we made a kickoff video? Sam suggested, his eyes brighter than ever. We could explain what we're doing and why it matters. Jade nodded enthusiastically, yeah. Just a quick intro where we each talk about our fears. It'll show we're all in this together. Mia smiled and felt a rush of adrenaline. This was it. She had never felt so alive. But then doubt crept in, like a shadow edging closer. But what if it's too much for some people? What if they don't want to open up like we will? She spoke softly, her heart pounding in her chest. Kyle leaned in, his voice steady. It's okay to be scared. That's the point. It's about showing the real us. It's about strength in vulnerability. Right. Jade added, her enthusiasm infectious. If we can start the conversation, maybe others won't feel so alone. Mia took a deep breath, letting the heat of their passion wash over her. She looked around the table at her friends. Their belief in this project fueled her determination. Let's make it happen then. Over the next hour, they mapped out their first video and how they would feature their stories. The laughter and excitement resurfaced, filling the room with hope. And then, just as they felt they were on the brink of something wonderful, Kyle's phone buzzed. Hey, it's my dad, he said, glancing at the screen. His face fell. I need to take this. He stood up and stepped outside. Mia watched as the door swung shut behind him. She felt a knot of worry form in her stomach. Kyle had been a steady anchor. Could they carry on without him for the moment? Well, let us keep brainstorming while he's gone, Jade suggested, her fingers dancing across her notebook. They continued to toss out ideas and create outlines, but Mia couldn't shake the unease. A moment later, Kyle re-entered, his expression clouded. Everything okay? Sam asked, an eyebrow raised. Not really. My dad he's going through some stuff. He wants me to come home for a bit, Kyle replied, glancing away, clearly fighting back emotions. Mia felt a pang of sympathy for him. She knew how hard it could be to balance personal challenges with the weight of new responsibilities. Could we help? I mean, is there something we can do together that might lighten your load? Jade offered, her heart in the right place. No, it's okay. I just need some time to figure it out. Kyle's voice was firm, but the wavering in his eyes told another story. Mia's heart ached for him. She wanted so much for them to remain united during this new venture, but she also understood how life can complicate things. Keep us posted, all right? She said, her voice soft but resolute. We'll be here for you. As the conversation shifted back to planning, Mia couldn't help but wonder how their paths would intertwine. Their stories were becoming more than just names in notebooks. They were building a fortress of support. But could it withstand the pressures that life would inevitably throw at them? With a sense of urgency, Mia reminded herself that every hero had challenges. Every journey had its storms. What would their storms look like? As they video chatted into the night, Mia felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension growing. Each idea they shared roared with potential, but buried beneath it all was fear about the unknown. Would their combined strength see them through the obstacles ahead? Or would the unfolding of their project reveal cracks in their newfound confidence? Mia felt the weight of anticipation, each second stretching out like a taut string ready to snap. What would they discover about themselves and each other as the world began to watch? Mia's thoughts whirled as they wrapped up their planning session. The night had turned into a blur of ideas and enthusiasm, but the underlying tension from Kyle's news laced everything with an unshakable unease. She could see the passion fading from his eyes, replaced by shadows of worry. It made her rethink their project. What if vulnerability could also mean revealing too much? As they finally packed up their things, Mia stole a glance at Kyle, who sat slightly apart, his gaze lost somewhere outside. "Hey, let us get some ice cream," she suggested, trying to lighten the mood. "We can brainstorm more outside, it's a perfect night for it." Kyle forced a smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Yeah, that sounds nice," he agreed, though his heart wasn't in it as he stood, stuffing notebooks into his bag. Sam and Jade chimed in, encouraging Kyle to join them. Outside, the cool night air felt refreshing, but for Mia, it was mixed with the weight of the conversation still hanging in the air. They walked to the local ice cream stand, lights twinkling above their heads like stars. Laughter echoed as they joked and debated flavors. But even amidst the giggles, Mia could sense Kyle's silence. "Cherry or chocolate?" Jade asked him, spinning with a grin. "Cherry," he mumbled without much thought. Mia exchanged a concerned look with Sam. Kyle was falling behind them in more ways than one. They ordered their ice cream, and as they found a spot to sit, Mia decided to speak up. "Kyle, you know we're all here for you, right? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone." The others fell quiet, turning their attention to him. Kyle reluctantly looked up, the corners of his mouth twitching. "Thanks, guys. I appreciate it." Mia felt a flicker of hope. For a moment, it seemed like a weight had lifted. As they began to discuss ideas for the video stories, the feelings they wanted to convey something changed around the table. The night was no longer just about excitement, it was also about connection. But just as they reached a light moment, Kyle's phone buzzed again, and he glanced at the screen. His expression darkened. "I need to take this. Just a sec." He stood and walked away, leaving Mia feeling uneasy once more. "Do you think he is okay?" Jade asked. "I want to believe so," Mia replied, frowning as she watched Kyle from a distance. "But it's hard to know what is going on in his head." After a few moments, he returned, his face a mask of determination this time. "Sorry about that. Just some family stuff," he said, brushing it away too easily. "Do you want to talk about it?" Sam offered. "It's not the right time," Kyle replied. His voice carried a firm edge that shut down the topic, but Mia knew the uncertainty still lay heavily on her friend's shoulders. Mia couldn't ignore the tightness gathering in her chest. This couldn't be how they started their adventure. They had to support each other, to be honest about their struggles, or the foundation they were building wouldn't last under the pressure. "Guys!" Jade exclaimed suddenly, "what if we included a section in our video where we share not just our fears, but help each other list out different ways to tackle them?" "It's a great idea." Mia nodded, her eyes lighting up at the thought of creating something real and raw. It would show how we're growing together. As they pored over new ideas, discussing ways to open up while still protecting their boundaries, Mia let out a relieved breath. Maybe they would weather this storm after all. But as that fleeting sense of hope enveloped her, she realized there was one storm they still hadn't addressed. Would they really be able to open up in front of the camera and share their vulnerabilities with the world? As they finished their ice cream, Mia caught Kyle's eye, silently promising he wasn't alone. But would that promise hold when faced with the scrutiny of others? The question hung in the air, anticipation buzzing once more. What hidden truths would they uncover when it was their turn to speak up, to stand in front of the lens and show all their colors? Mia's thoughts tumbled as they began the walk back, each step feeling heavier. Sparks of laughter floated around her, but the underlying tension from Kyle's earlier conversation remained intact. It was as if the dark clouds loomed just outside their cozy bubble, threatening to break apart their moment of harmony. She glanced back at Kyle, who trailed a few steps behind. His shoulders were hunched, and it was clear he was wrestling with unspoken thoughts. "Hey, want to take a shortcut through the park?" Jade suggested, her eyes bright with eagerness. "Sure," Kyle replied, but his tone lacked the energy it usually had. They made their way through the park, the faint sound of crickets ringing in the night air and the sweet scent of blooming flowers swirling around them. Mia tried to steer the conversation to lighter topics, finding strength in the camaraderie they had built. "Remember last year when we tried filming that dance video?" Mia asked, recalling the memory of them floundering in their steps, laughing until they nearly cried. Jade burst out, "Oh gosh, yes. I still can't believe we thought we could do those moves." The laughter brought a moment of levity, and for a heartbeat, Mia hoped Kyle would join in. Instead, he stayed quiet, his gaze focused on the ground as they trudged along. Mia's heart sank a little more. "Kyle, come on. Share an embarrassing story with us. Something funny." She nudged him playfully, searching for a spark that he glanced up, hesitating. "I don't really have anything right now." His eyes drifted once more. The silence that followed felt suffocating, as if the warm air had turned dense and hard to breathe. Sam, sensing the shift, chimed in, "Well, how about we brainstorm more about the video? I think Mia's idea was really great." Mia nodded, grateful for the shift but also frustrated. They couldn't just plaster band-aids over Kyle's unspoken worries. They were friends, and friends needed to let each other in. As they reached a park bench, Mia motioned for everyone to sit. It was time to show vulnerability, not just keep discussing it. "Okay," she started, her voice gentle. "I know we talked about our fears before, but I think it's important for us to dig deeper. We need to be honest with one another even about the tough stuff." Kyle shifted uncomfortably at her words, while Jade and Sam exchanged glances. It was like the air had thickened, electricity sparking in the space between them. "What if," Mia continued, feeling a rush of courage, "what if we each share one thing we're scared of when it comes to this project? Just us. No cameras, no audience. Just to connect and support each other." Jade nodded, her expression shifting to one of understanding. "I like that. It could be a way to break down our own walls before we face the world. What do you think, Kyle?" Mia asked, looking directly at him. She held her breath, hoping he wouldn't retreat further into himself. After what felt like an eternity, he finally spoke, "I guess I'm afraid that I'll let you guys down. I mean, what if my story isn't good enough?" His words hung in the air like a heavy weight, and Mia felt the collective gasp of the group. It was so raw, so real. "No way," Sam jumped in quickly. "Your story matters, Kyle. It's yours. And that makes it important." Mia's heart warmed as she watched Kyle's defenses crack just a bit. She knew it wouldn't be easy to surrender completely, but they were on a path toward a deeper connection. "Let us promise to be there for each other," she said softly. "It's not about perfection, it's about authenticity." Just then, the soft chime of a nearby street lamp flickered to life, illuminating their faces. As the shadows danced around them, Mia felt a renewed sense of hope. Maybe they could face the storm brewing on the horizon together, but as they settled on the bench, it dawned on Mia that while this was a small step, what would happen when they stood together in front of that camera? Were they truly ready for the world to see them, flaws and all? The question lingered in the night air, echoing like a whisper of uncertainty waiting to be unraveled. What would happen when they dared to expose their true selves? The cafe hummed with anticipation as Mia and her friends gathered for their first official video shoot. The air was thick with both excitement and nerves. Today was the day they break the silence, take off the masks, and share their truths. Mia could feel her heart pounding in her chest. Okay, let us do this. Mia rallied, her eyes beaming with determination. Remember, we're here for each other. Kyle stood off to the side, fiddling with his notebook, his eyebrow twitching slightly. He had embraced their idea but still seemed hesitant, like a staircase he hadn't fully climbed. Hey, Kyle, Jade said gently, walking over to him. Are you ready? He gave a slow nod. Yeah, I think so. I want to do this, just feels huge, you know. Mia smiled and pressed her hand on his shoulder. It is huge. But that's what makes it real. Our stories matter. As they set up the camera, an electric buzz filled the room. They shared laughter, lightening the mood by joking about their early struggles to even capture the right angle. Remember when we thought we could shoot a dance video? Sam joked, and a wave of laughter erupted among them. That laughter was crucial, a warmth blossoming with every chuckle and grin. This was a space of love, where each person was a thread in the fabric of their community. Mia felt her heart swell. When the camera started rolling, the laughter faded. Mia took a deep breath, locking eyes with each of her friends. Welcome to the Story Sharing Project. Today, we're diving into our fears and triumphs, Mia began. We hope that our stories inspire you to embrace yours. As she spoke, her voice flowed freely. I've struggled with feeling like I don't belong. In life, in work, even in friendships. Today, I'm shedding that insecurity. I'm ready to be seen. After Mia, Jade leaned forward, her heart spilling forth. I'm afraid to share that I often feel like I'm an imposter in this industry. But this is our chance to lift each other up. Sam followed, sharing his own vulnerabilities. For me, it's about being honest in a field often overshadowed by competition. I want to bring humanity into the tech. Mia watched as Kyle took a deep breath, every moment stretching like a thin wire before he spoke. I am scared that I'll let people down, that my experiences won't resonate. But, I want to show my true self, even if it's messy. The atmosphere shifted as his words echoed in the shared silence. The tension melted, replaced by a reverberating understanding. Each vulnerable confession connected them further, forging an unbreakable bond. As they listened, the power of their truths lit a fire within Mia. This isn't just about us. Everyone out there has their own story, their own struggles, she said passionately. Let us create a ripple, invite our community to join us. With each shared story, laughter echoed, tears flowed, and hearts opened. Even in a world that seemed driven by perfection and competition, they dared to be flawed and authentic. As the camera rolled on, they wrapped up the session, and applause erupted from a small crowd that had gathered. Mia felt tears pool in her eyes. They had done it, they shared their truths without fear. Later, as they celebrated with ice cream again, Mia began to see the bigger picture. The surprise delivery girl had shown them the way. It wasn't just events that mattered, it was how they connected, shared pains, and found blessings along the journey. Remember when you wondered if we could truly own our story? Jade asked, her eyes sparkling. Look at what we did. We opened up. With hope roaring in her heart, Mia knew that their adventure had only just begun. They faced the storm together, stronger than before, transforming every challenge into a stepping stone. They would invite vulnerability, breathe life into their stories, and watch as others found their voice alongside them. In that moment, sitting under the gentle glow of street lamps, every uncertainty faded. They were ready to reveal themselves to the world, one story at a time fearlessly, and as the night drew to a close, deep within her, Mia understood. Sometimes, all you need is a little courage, and the moment you share your heart, the world opens its arms wider than ever. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support for our journey. Leave a like now to fuel the algorithm and spread the word. Go on, comment your thoughts and feelings about this ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation.